Hey, I'm Rachel, and this is Designed Resilience, the corner of the internet where we talk about building daily habits, practices, and rituals that can help you to have the resilience you need to face life's unexpected and expected challenges. The idea is that we can design our resilience, that we don't have to just gut it out when things get difficult, that when the days are good, we can build habits and practices that we can rely on and that will help anchor us as we move through challenging times. As we enter this new year, New Year's always bring new energy, new opportunities, and new challenges. And so I wanted to anchor in with an overview of the platform of Design Resilience, the 5 pillars that make up this program. So ideally, if we were designing our resilience, we would spend time regularly building strength in positive self-concept, financial stability, physical well-being, community, and personal growth and development. And so within each of those pillars, there are ways that we can go about strengthening ourselves, whether times are good or bad, that can anchor us and move us forward. So let's start with number 1, with positive self-concept. So there are plenty of resources that talk to you about self-esteem and self-confidence, but I actually think those are higher level personal perspectives. I think sometimes that's a bridge too far when we've come through trauma, when we have come out of a difficult relationship, when we are people pleasers. Self-esteem and self-confidence can feel just out of reach. It's something that needs to be worked to. But a positive self-concept is more attainable, in my opinion. You can look at your life and see that if you are still alive and still breathing, which you must be if you're watching this video, that you have successfully overcome all of the difficult challenges in your life. I'm not necessarily a believer in what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Sometimes what doesn't kill you makes you tired. But you have been able to navigate every single challenge that has come into your life so far, and you have persisted and are still alive. And for many of us, those are some serious things. Those are maybe, physical or mental difficulties or abuse, trauma, financial issues, feelings of isolation and loneliness, depression. All kinds of things can get in our way and make it feel like life is really hard. But if you're still here, then you can anchor into the fact that you have a positive ability. You have the ability to positively navigate all the circumstances of your life. And that's all a positive self-concept is the belief that I can survive what I am going through because I have survived what I've gone through. So that's the first pillar. The second pillar is around financial stability. And so there is plenty, again, resources in the world about how to organize and set up your finances. I personally have been through multiple waves of a financial journey. I have become debt-free twice in my life. I have gone from relying on credit cards to successfully going to a cash-based budget. I went from a negative net worth to a positive net worth. And so I believe that while today you may not be in the financial situation you want to be, in order to build stability for life changes, so maybe that is losing a job unexpectedly or needing to move, or your air conditioner goes out, or your apartment gets flooded in a natural disaster and you need to move. Financial stability is something that helps you be resilient in those circumstances. And it's something that you can begin today to build so that when those things happen and you need that financial stability, you're not scrambling at that time. That's not an extra added weight on you because you've already prepared for it. So we'll talk a lot about the different tools and techniques you could use to establish financial stability to help you design your resilience for the future. The third, physical well-being, is so important. And it is something that so many of us neglect first. When things get difficult, so many of us let our diet and our physical movement and our just self-care, the care of ourself. So not necessarily bubble baths and massages, but just washing our face and washing our hair and cutting our toenails and doing the things that are required to maintain our bodies. If we build the habit daily of just getting in touch with your body. For a lot of years, my body was something that carried my head and my brain around, because I do work that is, mostly knowledge based. And so I disconnected from my body a lot because it wasn't anything that I thought I needed on a daily basis because my work wasn't based in it. So paying attention to our bodies, taking care of ourselves physically, and it can be a million different ways to do that. But if you're in the habit of doing that, of moving your body regularly, eating well, staying hydrated, managing your stress, getting sleep, all of those things, then when life takes a turn that you weren't expecting, your body is more used to being in a well-being state, and you'll be more likely to keep those habits going through times of difficulty. And so this pillar is really about building the practices daily of caring for your physical body and all that includes. Community is a pillar that is something that begins to engage other people. So far, your self-concept, your financial, and your physical well-being have really been things that are in and about you, but humans are social creatures. And so a really important pillar of designing your resilience for times when things are not going well is building community. And when I talk about community, I don't necessarily mean thousands of followers on Instagram or hundreds of friends on Facebook. I mean a couple of really reliable relationships that you can go to for compassion and for honesty and for support, that you can be authentic with. And these are not easy to come by. These relationships are things that have to be built over time, which is why they're perfect as a pillar of designed resilience, because they're little habits and practices that you do every day, whether times are good or bad. And so pouring into a few specific relationships, being honest, sharing laughter, being vulnerable, having those in place when things get hard will help you manage them more successfully. They'll give you a perspective that you can trust because you've built that trust over time. And this is someone who cares about you, who's going to want the best for you and can help you think of and brainstorm ways to navigate the challenges that you have. So community is an important pillar, and it does take time, just like all the other practices. And the fifth and final pillar of designed resilience is personal growth and development. And I've always been passionate about learning. I love to read. I love to take classes. I did have to get over that idea that I needed to be good at something right away. I had to learn how to be a beginner, and I had to learn how to be curious and to start something new. But now that I have let my ego go a little bit and I'm continuing to learn and making sure that I am developing myself with new ideas all the time, what that has helped me with in times of difficulty is faith that what I know today is not going to be all that I know tomorrow. That I may not know how to address a certain situation today, but because I have a practice of personal growth and development and constant learning, I know that anything that comes my way, it's just a matter of time before I learn about how to manage that situation. I am constantly questioning my beliefs, constantly looking at other ways to do things, because it helps me keep that mobility when things that I didn't expect or didn't want come my way. So always pursuing learning helps me to have confidence that I can face any challenge, because I've faced them in the past. I learned about them and I overcame them. So I know I have that history. So design resilience is all about little bitty baby steps that have compounding interest effects. If on a daily or weekly basis, you are reaffirming to yourself your positive self-concept, if your internal monologue is about how you can survive the things that are in front of you because you have survived the things that are behind you, that daily self-talk helps design your resilience. If you can each day become a little more mindful about your financial situation, whether that's looking at what you're spending, looking at what you're making, understanding that relationship. And I'll give you tools over time to help you do that in case that's something new or nobody ever taught you about it. If you can, on a daily or weekly basis, stretch your body out, move around, take a walk, eat as well as you are able, making sure that you're getting food into your body, stay hydrated and drink water, and that you can manage your stress and make sure that you're getting enough sleep, you will be in such a better place to manage and to deal with life's challenges. If you can invest in a couple of people in your life, open yourself up to them, allow them to open themselves up to you, and to build that strong bond of community, you're going to be so much better supported when things get difficult. And if you try to learn something at least once a week, whether it's through a YouTube video, a book, a podcast, any of these different avenues to get new ideas and new approaches and fresh things into your mind, you'll build confidence that you can learn and you can do things differently than you've done. Because if you want to get something different, you have to do something different. So I'm so excited to walk into 2025 with you. I'm so excited that you're part of the Design Resilience community. So let's take charge of our lives and in little bitty steps, nothing crazy, nothing overwhelming, nothing too big, begin to design our lives in a resilient way. Thanks. I'll see you next week.